Hello and welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays. Today we are talking about Proverbs chapter 3, verse 34. So it goes like this. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. That verse is a really good one for this time we're living in, isn't it? Let me read it again. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. The Lord mocks the mockers. Here and now, we do mockery very well, don't we, in our culture today? I can't really point to others and say how horrible they are about this without looking in the mirror. After all, sarcasm is my favorite second language, and while I generally just do it gently and in good fun with people I appreciate, it's there in my head doing things that are not as kind and not as gentle and not as life-giving and not as loving. A scroll through social media just with a little bit of time spent watching political clips from any side of the aisle shows that we are a people who seem to think that we can fix the world by mocking people with whom we disagree. And, maybe that if we can come up with just the right sick burn, that suddenly we can apply it and it'll cause all opposition from the other side to just, fall down and turn into dust. Clearly, God does not call us to mock. The idea that God mocks us as we mock others, it's kind of horrifying, isn't it? It says God is gracious to the humble. Who doesn't want to be treated graciously? Who doesn't want to receive grace? Interesting that the key is to be humble. Imagine if we approached every conversation humbly. Imagine if we allowed that the other person, even when we disagree with them, that they might actually have both a heart and a brain, as well as good intentions and decent motivations. Just imagine that for a moment. I don't know about you, but I'm going to meditate hard on this verse this week. I definitely need help. While I try not to be a jerk on Facebook or with other people in person, for sure, in my head, I am a terrible, terrible mocker when it comes to certain subjects and certain conversations and certain personalities. Of course, God can see and hear all of that that's happening silently within me. So it needs to change. And here's an important note. While I can for sure check my mouth, and I can definitely control my typing to keep the mockery out on the Facebook page, it's going to take the power of God to knock out my mental mocking. So I guess I'd better get busy praying. Maybe you need to as well. How about you? Well, before we go, let's repeat this proverb 3 times to start to get it into our heads. Ready? The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. And again, the Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. And one more time. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. Have a blessed week as you consider it.